Here I am. All right. Good morning, everybody. And how are you? Let me turn that music off and make sure my sound's working and my picture's there. It looks like it's all working. You guys got to tell me if you hear everything. You can never know on my end, 100%. All right. Here we have. Good morning, Goldfinger. Hey, Rodney. I have some interesting news for you in a minute. Ray, it's a beautiful morning in nation's capital region. Love it. Waiting for my AirPods to arrive that I ordered. Cool. They're sent. You have the tracking information. Hello from Las Vegas. I miss Las Vegas. I'm sure it's not the same as I remember it. It's been about 6 years since I've been to Las Vegas. Now that they've built all these dome and they built the football stadium, I don't even know what they call it, and all the other things, and they took away all the good stuff. They took away all the freebies. So that kind of sucks. But hey, I'll get there one day maybe. Seaweed, hello, how are you? Let's see, can hear and see you. Well, that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's not such a good thing. Good morning. So good morning, everybody. It's Friday here, Friday morning. I have a very busy day. It's been a very busy week. Lots of things to talk about. Seaweed says summer rain and rare thunderstorms here in Victoria, British Columbia. Cool, Canada. It's amazing how you can reach the whole world on YouTube. It's kind of interesting because Rodney's in Australia, so I'm hitting Canada, USA, of course. I got Einstein next to me, but he's not wanting to be on YouTube, so I don't know if we're going to show him or not. He's kind of hiding back here. So let's see. Anybody who's been to the Dumageddon, they know that the Why Not burnt to the ground. It was a popular restaurant here on the boulevard. Caught fire. Fire department here, I don't know if they were asleep. They had to bring another fire truck from another city. I don't know what's going on. Probably they never started their battery. They had a dead battery. I was just dumb things happen here, okay? Because they don't take care of it. They don't plan ahead. So typically it probably had a dead battery. They couldn't start it. They had to find a jumper. Oh, who knows? But we lost our hangout for the lady boys. They had a club there. All the lady boys would go to the club Friday and Saturdays. So I guess the lady boys will have to go to Pink Taco right down the way. The only place I can think they can hang out at is Pink Taco for the lady boys. They had good Italian food. The restaurant was fine. They had some homemade bread and ice cream. But maybe they'll reopen. Maybe it was just a sign for them to reopen in the mall that they're rebuilding. They're adding on, I think it's a 3-story to the 2-story mall because it's pretty high. Extension to the main Robinsons Mall we have here. And it should be opening soon, and maybe they'll move in there, which is a better location for them anyway. Let's see, what else we got? North Dakota. Hello, Amber. Let's see, we got... No, this is coffee, iced coffee. I've been doing iced coffee because I don't like hot coffee anymore. It's getting too muggy and hot, and I've been doing iced coffee, but with heavy cream and with almond milk to try to keep down the carb intake. Tastes pretty good actually with almond. I got used to it, so it's pretty good. I've never really liked tea too much. I've never been a iced or hot. Maybe iced tea, but never hot tea. I've never drank hot tea. I wouldn't do well in England. I don't know. So anyway, so we lost our Why Not restaurant. So we have to. Why not go somewhere else? So that's been around forever, way before I ever got here. In fact, before even Paul got here, that Why Not's been around forever. Very well known. Prices were Some of the food was good. Pizza was decent. Had Italian food that was decent. Their steaks were overpriced, but anyway, it doesn't matter. They're gone. Weather's been very hot and muggy, and with rainstorms coming. We have a lot of rainstorms because they have a monsoon thing going on here. I don't know. They have I don't know what they call it. They get a whole bunch of what are they called? I can't remember. Sorry, my mind went blank. So much for CMAX. Uh, they have these things that come through north of us. Typically hit Cebu and Manila, but we get the rain anyway. Maybe the fire department doomed the why not? Why not? Yeah. Well. Hello, William. Which fire department responded from Bacolod? I don't know. And the reason why it burned down is also kind of up in the air. One party said that they were welding something in the kitchen, and another group said that they were losing their lease anyway. So the insurance scam words came up, okay, because I did hear literally many months ago that they were going to have to move anyway or go out of business because the rent went up a lot, and rent on the boulevard has gone up a lot. Okay, there's another restaurant, Gabby's, that closed up, which was right next to Why Not. Gabby's has 3 locations. Now they have 2. And they had spent a lot of money building this location up, but their rent went from $4,000 to $15,000 a month. I looked into it because I was thinking, I was going, why is Gabby's going out of business? This is a great location, and it's all decorated and designed with a bar. I says they make a great bar area. It was a pretty big area and everything else, but when they wanted $15,000, I said, never mind, I don't need another business. Gossip, yeah, always gossip. So they don't call us Dramageddon for nothing. Okay, so there's always something. Oh, another thing. So a guy got killed, a foreigner. Not sure what nationality was he. He might have been American. He might have been British. I don't remember now. But 71 or 72 years old. He was a professor at the Silliman, and he got murdered actually. And by what was claimed by his 3-month-old Filipina girlfriend was that they came into the house because they forgot to lock the door, tied her up, killed him, ransacked the place, and stole 75,000 pesos. Now, that's not a lot of money, okay? Maybe it's a lot of money for a Filipina, but it's not a lot, or Filipinos, okay, but it's not a lot of money to us. Go just divided by 60. That's $1,250 what they found. Maybe they were expecting to see more money. Murdered him, and I believe shot him, but left her tied up, and she claimed she was raped. So they took her and tested her to see if she was raped. And no, she wasn't raped, but she claimed she was raped. But they found no semen, no physical signs of rape. She was tied up, and she says she got out of being tied up and made emergency calls, all hectic, blah, blah, blah. However, then it comes out that there was actually some possible video taken. I don't know how. I don't know if they have cameras in the house or cameras across the way or what. Because my understanding is they lived pretty much out of the city. There wasn't a whole lot of neighbors, and it turns out it was her 2 brothers, the girlfriend's 2 brothers, that came in. And so, of course, naturally, and right from the beginning, she was a suspect, okay, right from the beginning, because it was rather obvious, okay, how did she get free? And she claimed she was raped. She wasn't raped, and she wasn't hurt, and she wasn't murdered, yet they murdered another guy, but they don't murder her. Come on, give me a break. So it's still being investigated, but it's unusual that a foreigner gets murdered. It happens mostly because of money. You have to be very careful. If someone says they want to get paid in cash, and they want you to bring 500,000, a million pesos to buy the car, to buy the house, whatever. That's a red flag. You don't do it. He was American. It's a shame. Sorry. And he was shot in the head. Yeah. Thank you. Here, everybody's got all the information. El Nino must have arrived, keeping the rain away. It's been so hot. Well, I don't know her name. I mean, I'm just telling what I heard. Okay. You have to be careful. Oh, I see what you're saying. You have to be careful and know the women you're with carefully. You never know Filipinas in trust and can trust anybody. I don't care, Filipino. You really can't trust anybody anywhere in any country in 3 months. Okay, it's a different world now. Okay, people don't. Handshake doesn't mean anything anymore. A person's word doesn't mean anything. I still hold by the truth because I'm old school. I only trust older people, mostly. Younger generation has the trust is gone. They steal, they lie. It's a shame, the values have changed. So yes, you have to be careful. How is the scooter rental business going? How many Hondas in your yard? How many Hondas out? Carolyn handles this now. Turned it over to Carolyn. She handles it. All of a sudden now, suddenly we're getting a lot of requests for rentals, and half the bikes are out. I believe there's 35 or 40 bikes. I'm not keeping track of it because she handles it. We have about 20 out and 20 in the yard. You have to keep an inventory, okay? Because people call you. You have to have a bike when they call you. So people go, oh, you have a lot of bikes sitting around doing nothing. Well, yeah, because I have a lot of bikes sitting out there driving around. And when someone calls you, you better have inventory. It's like stocking, okay? They don't see the bikes as inventory or stock. But, if you only have 5 cans of beans and you sold 4, you're not planning ahead, okay? So it's busy. She's very busy with it. She's doing very good. I'm not quite sure what she's doing with the money because she's making good money. I'm pretty sure she's helping her family because I heard that they're now getting more tools, fixing up the house that they had and planting and have fertilizer. So I'm pretty sure she's helping her family, which is fine. It's her business. The whole idea of starting the scooter business was for her to have an income in the future, which it's been 2 years and it's producing. It's producing a couple $1,000s in U.S. dollars, about 125,000 pesos. 60,000 pesos is $1,000. So she's doing pretty good. She has plenty of money now. But I told her she has to start putting some money away to replace inventory because most of the bikes are 24, 25. We do have some big bikes now we rent, but like 350. ADV and 300 X-Max because people can't try a bike before they buy it. They don't the bike sales, same as car sales. They don't particularly let you try a vehicle. They don't have ones that let you use them, try them, see if you're comfortable on it. If you want to try it, you got to buy it. So the whole purpose of bigger bikes here is so that they can try for we have 3-day, week, and month. We don't have 3-day on all the other bikes, only on the big ones, because it's expensive. It's you want to rent for a month, it's gonna cost you 30,000 pesos a month to rent a bike. A lot of times, and we have rented bikes for a big bike. I think the 300 went for a month or two, 300 X-Max for 25,000 a month. They were very happy. There's people that come here that have plenty of money, so 25,000 is not a whole lot of money to them. It's a couple $100 there. It's not a big deal. But anyway, so and getting into bigger bikes was interesting. It rented right away the X-Max when I tried it. I said, "Oh, you got to try everything." Now I've tried electric cars; they're horrible. American was killed for his necklace. Was that where in the Philippines? I'm assuming, Ray. I could have put face on the voice. Well, I'm glad you could see me and hear me. Rent by the month. Yeah, we rent by the month. X-Max and NMAX, Tech Max. We have Tech Max. Those are all Yamahas. We have ADVs, PCXs. ADVs, PCXs, Clicks, and Beats, which is Honda. It's too bad nowadays. Yeah, I know it's not the same as it used to be, but I still trust. I trust older people that come here because they're still old school, but I wouldn't trust younger people. We do sell older scooters. Older scooters would be 24 or older. I don't have anything older than 24 because they sell. People come in and they want to save some money, so I usually sell the bikes off and buy new bikes, new inventory. But we do not at this point have anything 2026. Everything we have is 24, 25. I sold a lot of bikes in the last month. I think 4. So we need to replace some bikes. So yeah, we do sell the 24 models, but only if they've rented quite a bit and they're paid down. If they haven't been rented quite a bit, then I can't sell them because you can just go out and buy a new one, Sorry, I need my coffee. Got up early. He was killed here in the Philippines. That's too bad. Wonder why? Why was he killed? That's just. I'll rent ADV. Yeah, cool. We're here. Carolyn's here. She's taking care of it. I help her too. If she's not home, she's going off to school or going to the market to buy, and somebody shows up or calls, I'll take care of it. I help her out, of course. I give her suggestions, but she has brothers. She has 5 brothers. Carolyn's the only girl. She has 5 brothers, and a brother will usually stay here, one or two, and they maintain the bikes. So it works out great because they know bikes. They'll check the air every Monday. We run the bikes, start them, run them. If they need gas, we gas them, take them around the block, check the air in the tires. We're really big about maintaining them. So they're checking the air filters, they're checking the CVT, which is the transmission, the belts, the plug, and all those things. So, do I own a metal detector? No, I do not have one here. You could walk the Dumaguete Beach at sunrise or sunset detecting lost gold rings in the sand. Well, okay, now about that. This is not Palm Beach. This is not Los Angeles beaches or San Francisco beaches or beaches where people have a lot of diamonds and gold rings. This is the Philippines. People don't have precious metals here. They don't have that kind of money. Only the tourists do. And we don't really have beaches in Dumaguete. Okay, Dumaguete is not known for its beaches. It's known for its boardwalk. It's known for its drama. It's not known for beaches. They put up retaining walls to hold back the ocean, and big walls, up to 20-foot walls they put up, and they backfill, and then they make a walkway, along what there is no beach. Water's right up at the wall unless it's low tide. So we don't have beaches here. Now there are some beaches in Bakong and Darwin, and that's where I'll say, if you haven't been to diving, Justin Carmack, Critter Republic, he's awesome. And we just went to a 4th of July party this month at his place. He's got a great new location. I like the guy. I like his location, and he's awesome. He does a lot of things. When he has time, he does things for the community. He pays it forward, which I appreciate. He had a great barbecue. We had a lot of fans. He sold out his tickets literally in a couple weeks, and he was going to sell 100 tickets. He ended up selling, I think he said 130 or 140 tickets because people just had to be there. And he could have sold another 50 easy. So he said next year he's going to see if he can expand and do 250 for next year. And this is the first of the annual 4th of July. And he had fireworks, and it was pretty good. We all had a good time. Ray has not have any issues with. Let's go back. I'm sorry, I missed a few. Let's go back. How far are we going back? Okay, so Dr. Kent Carpenter was the name of the victim. Another doctor, huh? And he was a marine biologist. Oh, the one that just passed away, the one that just got killed. Yeah, he was a marine biologist. He worked at Silliman. But, and then there was another thing about that too, Louis. That somebody said that there was some kind of a Chinese connection that helped pay for his demise. And I don't know. We're still waiting for what really happened. What's the story? Okay, what is the Chinese connection? So there's lots of talk, but there's no facts yet. So we have a girlfriend that might be involved and guilty. We have her brothers that I think are involved and guilty. We have a door that was unlocked. We have a ransack of a house. We have a rape that never happened. And then also there was the word of a Chinese connection where China was involved in some way. So all this is just, and maybe it's all rumors and BS. You know how that is. Okay, so Ray says, I have not had any issues with people here. I don't wear flashy stuff. Yeah, I don't either. I did when I was in Las Vegas. I had lots of rings and chains, but I had a bodyguard. So I treat people with respect. You need to. Philippines are generally kind. Yes, they are. And I'll try to help as much as possible. Well, thank you, Ray. You're what we call a real expat, Ray. The term was coined a few years ago, actually by Paul, old dog. I got to give him credit. But he took it away because he didn't want to differentiate between non-real expats and real expats. I still carry it on. Real expats pay it forward. Real expats are out there to help people and be respectful of the Filipino culture and ways. They don't curse. They don't get drunk in fights. And then we have the other expats here, the bad expats. And they come here because they get in trouble in America, but here they get away with shit. Okay, seriously, they can ride drunk, they can get into fights, and as long as they're not fighting with a Filipino and they're fighting with another foreigner, nobody cares, pretty much. They're very demanding. They're very rude to Filipinos. They don't have anything that's nice to say, and most foreigners would prefer that they weren't here. To be perfectly honest, we wish they'd go back home or go to jail where they belong. So, where's my eyesight? Come here. Come on. Hop, hop. You got to say hello to everybody. Come on, baby. Come on. Hop, hop. You got to say hello. I know you're sleepy. Hop, hop. Hop on the chair. Come on. Hop, hop. Come on. Hop. Come here. 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 Come on. Come on. You can do it. Hop. There you go. Come here. He's tired. Oh, did you have a tough day yesterday? Was it tough? Did you have a hard time? Say yes. Yes, I had a hard time. And Einstein got a big old haircut, and he's hiding from Mom because Mom said every time she says the word BATH, he freaks out and hides underneath the table or chairs and tries to stay away from her. Okay, but if I said that word right now, he would be running out of my arms. Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Give me a kiss. Gonna give me a kiss? Gonna give me a kiss? No, I'm sleepy. Okay, go put your head down. All right. This is our love of life, Einstein. He makes it all. You can barely see him. I see that. Oh, there we go. Let's pick you up. Oh, there we go. Oh, yes. All right. He's very sleepy right now. You want to say hello to everybody? Say hello. Look at the camera. All right. Okay, I'm gonna put you down. He's very tired this morning. He comes into my bedroom and he sleeps right next to me, and I wake up with his bad breath in my face. So, okay, now what else we got? Louis sounds like Siriago. I don't know. So I don't. Yeah, Einstein's a cutie. He's and Uncle Polly. I saw Uncle Polly at the 4th of July. We're gonna go out to lunch. Yes, he said, "Hey, let's get lunch." And I said, "Okay, yeah, let's go get some lunch." Let's go back a ways because I left. Let's see. I left a conversation unspoken to one of my first guests here, Rodney Black. So let's go back a little bit and talk about for Rodney, so he doesn't have to hang it all day listening. Now, Rodney is fighting health problems. He's a wonderful guy. He's donated for the children for the school. We're working with the Sugan Elementary School. I've been there all week. We put in a road where the kids don't have to walk through mud to get to classrooms. They were taking off their shoes, or they were wearing them. The boys were wearing the shoes. The girls were taking off their shoes and trying to wash their feet. The boys didn't care. They just jumped through the mud puddles. But they didn't have a road getting around the classrooms, and they didn't have a road to get to the back. And since Rodney's been here, they're building a high school. So they built 2 high school classrooms, 7th and 8th grade, and they'll probably bring in a 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th in the back. So they have a lot of room in the back. I was planning on doing in the back a basketball and soccer field, but now they're going to build classrooms, and I guess I wasn't made aware of that by the principal. So that idea went out the door because they have dozers and trucks coming in, and so they're building this classroom, and I go, well, wait a minute, we only prepared for 9 classrooms in the elementary school, and we're not going to be doing high school, okay? Because I only do elementary schools, and there's a limit what I could do, and they're building more classrooms. So they're building this classroom that's in between the elementary and the high school, okay? It's a pretty big building. I'm going, well, they now are doing the side walls. They were just pouring the cement foundation, and they were doing now the walls and the roof. And it's. I thought it would be 2 classrooms, but there's no wall in between. So I went to there was the principal's been out ill, so I went to the principal that's acting there. Okay, he's not a replacement principal, but he's there temporary. He's a temp brought in, and a younger guy. And I said to him, "Hey, what is that room that they're building back there, okay, that they're building it. They have a whole crew on it. And I met the crew. They don't speak a lot of English, but I met the crew, and they helped me with a few things. I couldn't lift some boards or tires or get them out of the way, so they helped me. And then I hired the guy that did the bulldozer to help with the road. And he didn't want to charge me. And I'm going, I don't understand, but he didn't speak any English. I said, I'll pay you. He said, he didn't want to charge me. No, 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 no. And I go, well, finally, someone who spoke English, there was Alberto, who was a foreman of Steve, a brewer who came to the rescue. And he said, hey, I'll pay for the rock if you pay for all the labor. And I said, okay. I said, but I understand, that we want that dozer guy to do this work, but he doesn't want to get paid. So I don't know if he doesn't want to get paid or he doesn't want to do the work. Well, it turns out his kids go to that school. So he knew we were fixing things up and helping. And so so he wanted to help too. So I said, well, I'll pay you. I got to pay you something, okay? So because he has a family and his kids, and they all pile up in the when he comes with this big dump truck, where he drops rock or gravel or whatever, and the kids and other friends that live or people, adults and children, jump in the back of this big truck at the end of the day, and he takes them home and he brings them to school in this giant dump truck, I have video of that, so I'll show you some pictures as soon as I edit. Anyway, so I found out his kids go to that school, so he wanted to help, and I said, okay, I'll just give you 50%. He normally gets 5,000 pesos an hour, and I paid him 20. I wanted to give him something, so because I have money to spend from people that have help with this, so I ended up paying him 2,500 pesos per hour. He did an hour and a half. And I just gave him 4,000 pesos to round it out. And then we needed he dug kind of deep, and I says, we need some dirt put back. It's a little too deep. It was a foot and a half deep. I says, too deep. And so he put some dirt back, but he didn't charge. He took off without me having to pay him. I don't know. Maybe I'll see him again. But now the dozer's not there. They took it away. In any case, let's go back to the school. Oh, my God, I talk too much. No wonder I have a channel. So when I talked to the temp principal, he didn't even know they were building a classroom behind it because you can't see it from the front because it's in the back. And they're building a huge classroom in the back. And I says, what grade is that? Is that high school? Is that elementary? Is it another? Because we only planned on 9 classrooms, and I have 9 bookcases, which is another story. So I paid for one type of bookcase, and they sent me a different bookcase. But they actually sent me a better bookcase. And they sent me 10, but I ordered 9. So I now have 10 bookcases, which I have pictures of, which I'll put up on the Asugan School videos, which I think I already have. I have one video out, but now I have to do a second video update on Asugan because now we have a road. They're working on the bathrooms. The bathrooms didn't have water. We're putting plumbing into water. We're going to build a sink. Steve is bringing his crew over, and I'm paying the labor on his crew, and he's overseeing it. So he's godsend. Thank you, Steve. Okay, so and he paid for the rock. I mean, seriously. Okay, so he not only donated his time to oversee it as like a manager, he donated his foreman, Alberto, and the crew of 6 to get the work done. He didn't donate it, but I'm paying their labor. But he brought them in, and because they're good people. And the previous bids I had were honestly too high. It was 100,000 pesos to do the work, the construction work I needed to do at this school. And I wanted to get the construction work done first before we get into educational things. So they didn't have decent bathrooms. They didn't have water to the bathrooms. They couldn't flush a toilet. We're going to solve all those problems. They didn't have a place to wash their hands. We're going to solve that problem. Bringing water in, putting in a little pump to pressurize it because they had no pressurized water. They only had gravity fed, which is not going to work, especially for a sink or for flushing a toilet. And they didn't have a road getting to for the classrooms without walking through this muckety muck from all the rain. Okay, so now it's covered. The road's done. We dug down, put down base rock, put down plastic, put down a drain to something to the back, and so now then we put gravel, fine gravel, curve the road, so now they can walk on the road and get to school without having to walk through mud. Okay, we still need to do some roof repair. They have some leaks and they're missing some doorknobs. They can't lock the classrooms, and they might need fans, and there's some windows missing, which we're going to replace. So as soon as I get all the construction work done, then we're going to go into the books, and that's where Rodney comes in. So Rodney, in honor of his mother that passed away, said, "Hey, I'll take care. I want to donate for the books, and I want to create a library." Well, what we're going to do is put a book rack with a globe. It has a little table stand next to the book rack. We're going to put a globe, a world globe on it, and which we still will. And I ended up getting 9, ordering 9, getting 10 book racks, and I started ordering books, novels, science books, but everything for kids. So there's every kind of book you could think of, but it had to be age related for under 15, say. And I had accumulated about 500 books, 500 to 700 books already by buying. I found someone that's able to get books from all over. In fact, she's coming today. I'll go into that in a minute. And I got the book racks. We're going to pre-assemble them before we take them down there. And then I found out that this room that they're building, which is kind of big, and I asked him, and he started asking the teachers because he didn't even know about it. He goes, "No, that's going to be a learning center." I go, "Really, a learning center? And what is that for?" He says, "Well, that's a study room where kids can go to study and learn." I go, "Well, rather than doing a book rack in every classroom, how about we set up all the book racks along the wall? They're on wheels with the books, and we make it a library, and we put up posters on the walls. So planetary posters, posters of maps of the Philippines, put it in a frame, hang it, map maybe of the United States, because they're very much into the United States here. They speak English and everything. I don't know if I was thinking about other things, because I like a science room. So I had bought 30 electronic microscopes. So we'll set that up in there. We'll put all the books in there. So I'll have a library. We're going to stamp every book with the name of the school. I belong to Isugan Elementary School in Bacong. So they could borrow the books. I says, maybe you can have something where they check books out and bring back books, or just be an honor system. Here, your honor systems work. And it's kind of like walking back 50 years ago, but here honor systems work. And I said, and I'm thinking of periodic table of, but I'm not sure if that might be high school, but it doesn't matter. They cost very little to create something for the wall. So maybe since I'm doing the telescopes and trying to do a science room, the periodic table of elements also up on the wall. So we're going to change it. So I need to talk to the principal still to get permission. But if it's correct and it is going to be a study room, the temp teacher said it would be great to make it into a library, educational room, and science room all in one. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big room. So I think they're trying to do something for both the elementary and the high school. So there'll be high school students using it. But the books I have, they could borrow those too. They're novels. There's novels that are with, even Carolyn's been looking at some of the books and reading them. So there's stories. There's also fun books, magic books, science books, books for kids with big writing. There's just every book you could think of, every size, every color, every subject. So I think it's awesome. And Rodney's covering the cost of all this. I'm just doing it for him. And then we're going to have plaques. I was going to put a plaque on every bookcase, which I may do, and they're metal bookcases. I may do a plaque on each one because I've already ordered 9, and I got them, by the way. But they're big plaques, and I think I might just put them on the wall above the books because they're bigger than I thought. They were supposed to be small, and they came in pretty big. I should have one in here. Maybe when Carolyn comes in and brings me some coffee, maybe she can bring one of those plaques in and I can show it. But they didn't curve the corners. I told them I wanted oval or curved corners. Take the corners off. I don't want sharp edges. And they didn't drill any holes in them. So I got to take them back to have them curved the color. Carolyn picked them up. I wasn't there to pick them up. So Carolyn picked them up. And when she brought them back, I go, this is not exactly, I told them, it's not finished. They have to take the sharp edges off the corners and curve them. They have to put in holes in it so I can mount them. Excuse me. So anyway, I got to go back anyway. But I have 9 of them, and I may just put them above the bookcases on the wall above rather than on the bookcase. In any case, I'll have several up. and they're pretty big. They're about, I'll show it to you in a minute, about a foot, 6 inches by a foot long. They were supposed to be about half that size to go on the bookcase. In any case, I'm really excited because if they do have a study hall, a science room, we're going to set this thing up. It's going to be awesome. I'll get somebody to videotape, if not me, and we're going to present that in about 3 months, towards the end of the year. Okay? Anyway, long story short, too late for that. So, all right. So now we have Einstein. Yes, Einstein was here. Did you the typhoon pass by? We don't get the brunt of the typhoon problem here. We get the rain. So yeah, we've had a lot of rain and wind. The one that hit Quantum, yeah, it came through here. Yeah, he's a good dad. There's good people here. There really are. The Filipinos are good people in general. They really are. They're not I don't want to. Very rarely you'll hear something negative about a Filipino. Hi from Queens, New York. We have Rigo. All the talk is about the why not burning down. I know, where all the guys and Sebastians go. Well, so we were talking about that earlier. Where are the Ladyboys going to go? Because the Ladyboys would always hang out there at the club there, and they opened up a new restaurant called the Pink Taco. So I think that's maybe where they need to go. They go to the Pink Taco. And when you walk in, it's very pink. All the lights are pink. I mean, you have to adjust your eyes when you walk in there, and they sell Mexican food. Have to leave shortly for a lunch appointment. All right, Rod. We'll watch the replay later today. Okay. Keep up the wonderful work. And another thing that's happening, actually, 100,000 pesos is good, Goldfinger. Another thing that's happening today is as soon as I end this live at 11, I have an appointment where a lady's coming here with more books. This will be the last of the books. She actually has 500 books. I told her I need kindergarten books that we the kids can draw on. So, explaining about the books. So the books that kids can draw on, like coloring books, we have a high-speed printer we're going to set up in the office, and they take those books which you keep in the office. I'm buying a rack for all these books, not the library books, but all the educational books or things that if they color in it, they've ruined it. They can put the coloring books for the kindergarten school in there, and they can make copies of the books, copies of the pictures, and we'll provide them with water paint and crayons. I'm going to get approval on the water paint. I don't know if they're going to want water paint, but we'll definitely get them crayons for the kindergartners and books. I don't think the kindergartners can read, but they could do shapes and colors and animals possibly. But rather than hand the books out to the kids, we're actually going up for the kindergarten for the educational books, which Carolyn's working on. She's working on curriculum books. Those books are going to be in the office on a rack that I'm going to put in there, and a high-speed laser color printer, which they can make copies of the pages versus putting the books out. There'll be about 30 to 40 books that Carolyn's making. There'll be another dozen of the books for children, coloring books, things like that. And those books will be in the office where they can make copies of it, so that year after year, different kids over a period of time will have the use of the same information, rather than destroy a book. How can anybody focus on their education with a situation like that? You know, they have very little here. This school is poor. They're not well financed. This is not the first time I've come across it. This is more of a province school. They don't have money for curriculum books. They don't have money for educational materials. We're actually going to create some chalkboards for them with chalk. We're going to provide them with a printer with all the paper and ink they can use for life, and chalk and erasers. They don't want electronic boards. They want the normal old school chalkboard. Okay, we went into that. You know, they might need some fans. They do not have enough power for air conditioners. I can't afford air conditioners anyway, because their windows are slat windows. It would never keep the place cool, and would cost too much for their electricity bill. But they would like some fans, so we're going to get them some fans which use less power and because there is somebody has to answer for a lot of electricity if it's being used. Uh, Waves from Manila. Hello, Delta, Chris. So I have to think. You have to think a little bit outside the box. You have to keep the power consumption and the educational. In this particular school, is not ready for tablets or laptops. They should be learning how to read and write in first grade, and it's not happening till the third grade. And the problem is, of course, is by the time they get out of here and they go to high school, they're already 2 years, 3 years behind what they should be. Say if you were in Cebu or Manila or Silliman, the kids with money or parents with money send their school. Don't let their kids go to public school because of this reason. They either don't have the materials or they don't have the funding for education, or the teachers or things like that. Now, the teachers do a wonderful job. I'm not going to knock teachers. They do a wonderful job with what they have. But obviously, Silliman is a private. It's not only a hospital, but it's also as a university and elementary and junior high. And you can get better education. And so what happens is foreigners send their kids to private schools because they can afford it and they pay tuition. But most of the Filipino citizens can't afford tuition. They barely are able to put food on the table. So rather than give them bags of rice, which people have mentioned, why just give them bags of rice? Well, okay, that they eat that, and then what? Okay, then what? They're out of food again. Okay, the problem is long term. You can't fix it with short term answers, and it's the old story. You can buy fish, or you can teach a person to fish. So the long term answer is to educate the children. If you start at the beginning, while their minds are open and they're young, you can open up their eyes, and they have their kids are willing to learn here. They're very in tune with school. Some are very smart. Some are way ahead of others. But if you give them the opportunity to learn in elementary, and then they go on to junior high and high school, and eventually they become adults, they're going to get they're going to get better jobs. They're going to make more money. They're going to help their own family and themselves, and then they'll help their children, and their children will have a better education too. So it's kind of like that. I kind of look at it as it's a 30-year thing, maybe 20-year thing, okay? But I can't help everybody, but I help one school at a time. That's what I could do. Now, maybe other people might want to help other schools in other islands or other cities, but I just do what I can do. So what I can do is 1 or 2 schools a year. And I prefer to help the schools that need help. We start off with schools 2 years ago, we actually started 3 years ago, but I started off with schools 2 years ago, which was schools that had awards for having exceptional students, educational learning and testing and everything. And now I'm moving down towards the schools that don't have anything. They don't have awards. They can't get awards. Why can't they get awards? Because they don't even have the materials to teach the kids. They don't have they don't have bathrooms. I built another set of bathrooms at another school in Bacong because they had one bathroom, seriously, for 750 elementary school. There was always a line. And when I went there to go set up a computer lab for them, which we did, and presented it last year, which if you ask me for the ebook, you'll get copies of the videos that were done by Bud Brown, and also was Kevin Tucker, that both recorded it, and you'll see what we did with the computer classroom. But I actually ended up first building a bathroom for them, a set of boys and girls bathrooms with sinks, with running water, with a septic, from the ground up. Raised money and had the parents, fathers, come in after school and build it. So the labor was almost no labor. We paid for materials mostly, and so they had another set of bathrooms, boys and girls, which they definitely needed a second set of bathrooms because it was ridiculous. I don't know. It's just a shame. So if you help them when they need it at the early age, and teach them at the early age for educational. Now that school was a little bit better off than the current school that I'm working with. They were ready for tablets and learning a computer. We got them They had a IT teacher that was able to. We gave them a laptop. We gave them roughly 30 tablets. It was either 25 to 30 tablets, all with keyboards and mouse that was wireless for each one. We created tables with the whole thing. You can watch the video, but it was really great. And I go back even for 3 years back. There was another school, Kanduai, that that was the first one I set up with a computer classroom, and they were using, I don't know what they call them, guys, but they're using a 7-inch. I don't think it was a tablet. 7-inch things that were 5, 6, 7 years old. They had originally had 20 of them. Only 10 were working, so it was like 3 kids for every one. And they had no memory. I think 4 megabytes. I don't know, gigabytes. I don't know, 4 something of RAM. I mean, they couldn't do anything with them. Okay, and they're trying to educate them for the precursor of using a laptop, and it was ridiculous. The equipment was old; it wasn't working. They had a drawer full of broken ones. I said, "Okay, we're gonna go in there. We're gonna make a." That was the first time in Kanduai. Paul recorded that one. It was It was really great for the kids. One classroom at a time, guys. That's all you can do. So it's hard for the kids to get ahead here, and if you do help the kids. Later on, they'll be able to help themselves and their family and even their parents. Okay, so let's see. I don't know who Kiki is, Rigo. Sorry. How was Justin's 4th of July party? So we spoke about that a little earlier. It was great. Paul was there. Alex was there. Yep. I didn't see Mike, unfortunately. 140 people. Not everybody showed. Had burgers. Had ribs, great ribs, potato salad, all the sides. Had a little bit of Filipino food as well, desserts and Jello and everything. It was red, white, and blue. It was very American. Lots of flags, fireworks. Everything was decorated well. Beautiful table settings on every table, and everybody had a good time. Let's see. Ray says, I saw an elderly man walking down the street with no shoes. People just drive by like he doesn't exist. Well, that's normal. I gave him food and a few pesos, and he started crying. Yeah, I know. It's tough. It's tough, when you get older here. That's why kids take care of their parents. They don't send them off to old folks' home or kick them out of the house. It's not like the U.S. It's like the U.S. used to be 75 years ago. You take care of your parents. You give them a room in the house and you watch over them. Not so much as that's done very much anymore. Now they just kind of get the grandparents get in the way, and if they're not able to watch the grandchildren, then what good are they? And we put them in an old folks' home and forget about them. And then we mix COVID patients with them so they can. Let's not go there. Now it's coming out that there's a few videos out now about people that are coming out to speak against COVID and how it was pretty much falsified for everything that we thought it was, political and financial reasons. So pretty much like most people felt at a certain point where it was all BS, which I believed it from the start. I never got the jab. I lost some opportunities because of that, and several people had no choice but to get the jab because they wouldn't have a job unless they got it. Okay, they were forced, and I had a friend that passed away because of it. So, excuse me, sorry. Scott wants to help. That'd be awesome. You don't have to do that much, Scott. I put in 35,000 pesos. Myself now, because I've been here for 3 years and I've created a couple things. We donate some money from Easy Rider Rentals. I donate some money from peptide sales, and I have a bigger income now from something that from an insurance policy that pays me on a monthly basis. So I kick in 35,000 pesos every month, and then I'll match anybody. So if I get 35,000, I'll match it up to 35,000. But either way, I put in 35. I just say I match. I used to say I'll match it up to 35, but now I just put in 35. So that produces 400,000 roughly in a year, and I'm able to do one school with that. Okay, But now that it's been growing and people seeing that I am coming through and doing it, and I'd love to have some help, I get a lot of expats to help me on the day that we present everything, carrying everything over. But getting help throughout the year isn't really happening. I have to do it all. I have to organize it, order it, fix the problems, go to the schools, film it. I have to show it, of course, on YouTube to bring interest in it. But now we're going into next year will be our 4th year doing it. This will be my 3rd school or 4th school helping. It's not going to be a computer lab this time, but it will be a help because we're going to do a library and science room. A little different. As people's interests grow and they see that I'm willing to do the work, and I just don't make up stories. I follow through with what I say, and I don't need the money. Okay, I need time, but I don't need the money. I need help. Seriously, I don't need the money. Okay, what I need is help. So it'd be nice to do a couple schools a year. It would take up a lot of time. I personally don't know if I can handle 2 schools a year, ordering and making sure it all comes together. But financially, I can raise enough money to do 1 school a year myself. But obviously, there's 23 schools in Dumaguete. There's another 20 outside in Valencia, Bakong, and Darwin. There's 40 schools. I've helped 4. This is over 4 years. Okay, it would be nice to try to do a little more than that. Of course, you guys in other islands could do the same thing. I'll be happy to show you what to do and how to do it. You can learn from my mistakes because I have made mistakes. I've bought things that didn't work, but anyway. So as it becomes more well known, more people help, and it's very generous of you. I appreciate it, and I do need someone to help with actual. Everything involved with ordering it, putting it together. I use Carolyn's brothers to put these metal bookcases together. We're now working on globes. The globes came in, but they're too light. They have a plastic bottom, but luckily they're a hollow bottom. So I actually bought flat magnets with a screw in it, and we're going to put them in with my mind went blank with silicone. So I bought clear silicone. We're going to silicone magnetic bases onto them, onto the globes, so they'll stick, and they have weight. So whether it's metal or wood, they're weighted bottoms, and they won't fall over because they just have a hollow plastic base open on the bottom. So so I found on Lazada a 6-inch diameter, 1/2-inch thick. They basically are rubber where they put a I forgot what they call it, neodynamic magnets, something like that in there, and they stick like heck on magnets. But either way, it's heavy, has a bolt in it, and so we're gonna allow them to screw in and out, and we're going to. They're metric, so I got the nuts for it. We welded little wires on the nuts, kind of like a crisscross on the outside of the nut, and we're going to silicone the nuts down in the center, silicone them in, and then the magnetic base can screw in or out onto it. Anyway, it'll work. It'll be good. Let's see. No jab. Yeah, I know. You really had to fight not to get the jab, They're the size of a printer and created new types of peptides. Oh, man. Peptides are going crazy right now. I didn't want to do too much talk about peptides, but there are so many new peptides out. For the mind, for ED, they work in so many ways. If I visited Dumaguete per seaweed for 3 or 4 nights in January 2000, do you have any tips on where to stay? Just look on Airbnb or Agoda. Airbnbs I've never used, to be honest with you. I looked into it. I've never used an Airbnb. I've heard some horror stories about Airbnb, but if you get the ebook, okay, we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna post it, information. So let's paste that. If you send something for the free ebook, Philippines Made Simple, which you'll see right now, you will get to goldfingerthegoldman3@gmail.com. You'll get a free ebook that lists the restaurants, not all, they keep opening in new ones, lists several hotels with stars, and I would just stay in a hotel. You're not, if you're only 3 or 4 days, you're not going to rent by the month, so you need a hotel. So there's plenty of places to stay, not luxury, aircon with aircon. So you could also go on any of the booking.com and look them up, and they'll tell you what kind of amenities they have, pool or air conditioning or anything like that. So yeah, I would stay in a hotel if you're only coming for less than a month. You don't book an Airbnb, in my opinion. But do you think the guys will go to the Honeycomb instead, or why not some new place? Okay, the Honeycomb is a dump. They have a restaurant front that's not so great. Service is pretty bad. So no, Honeycomb is for the poor. I think Peak Taco is going to be very popular. Are they going to go for Italian food? They'll have to find another place. Will why not reopen? Yeah, thank you. Neodymium, rare earth magnets. You guys try and say it. I can't. They put those in there. There's little round ones. You can see them in the base of the rubber. Man, they stick good. They're strong. We put two together, and me and Carolyn's brother couldn't get them apart. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Some people had to get the jab for their job or to travel. Some people got the booster. I had a friend that got the jab, had heart palpitations. Then he was going back for the booster. I kept telling him, why are you getting it? I don't know you got it. You don't need to get it, blah, blah, blah. He always says several doctors told me you should get it. I said, so what? I told him several doctors told me that I was going to die and I had 6 months to live or less, which wasn't true. And I know he got the jab, and then he had heart problems. And then he within 3 months, I think he had to get a booster, and that was the end of him. The Riviera Suites is best hotel in town. It's like the Marriott. I'd give it 3 stars. Okay, cool. I have not been to the Riviera Suites. I may have to check that out. Bethel Guest House on the Boulevard. Yeah, it's nice. It's a little pricey. It's okay. It doesn't have a pool, but it's in a good location. Like I said, if you go into the book, you'll see several affordable, good locations like the Go Hotel, which is right next to the Robinsons Mall. They're extending the mall. I think they're going to have it open for Christmas, so they're pushing to get it finished. They're finishing it up on the interior now, and I'm sure they'll open for Christmas. They'll have a soft, what do they call it, a soft opening, which will be some of the place will be open, not everything. And maybe why not? We'll reopen there if they can get in, because they have plenty of room. It's going to be 3 stories, so they'll have plenty of room. Most likely they'll put all the restaurants in one general area, like a food court, surrounded by restaurants. There's some good hotels that you can go to that are not real expensive. So yeah, okay, there you go. You got some tips. There's also Essentia, Essentia, Cencia. Essentia Hotel, very popular. It's down by the boulevard. You can walk to the boulevard. You can walk to coffee shops and restaurants. So Essentia Hotel is very good. A Go Hotel is right next to the mall, but you're not on the boulevard. But the Go Hotel is right by the mall. That's very popular because it's very inexpensive. They have monthly rates that give you discounts. Rooms are small. It's just if you're going to be here for a few days, that one will work. There's several hotels in there. Right near me is Southview. It's a nice hotel, Southview. If you want to do upgrade hotels, there's some new hotels that are upgraded that are more where the restaurants are in North Point. That would be the Henry, not cheap. It could be as much as $100 a night. The Dumagetti Hotel, which has some great restaurants and a deli, is really good, also in North Point. So there's some pricey ones too. So he says it would be traveling from Sucat, I can't say that, in Metro Manila. Maybe take some ferries to Dumagetti or motorcycle adventures from Luzon to Roxas City to Ilo. Yeah, you should take an adventure with a bike and eventually get to Dumagetti. I never really had the opportunity to travel. I found a place, I rented it, I get involved with the community, and then I can't get away. Very tough to get away for me. I'm always busy. I have, like I said earlier, I have a lady coming at 11. What time is it? So I have an hour. I have a lady coming at 11, and I'll probably cut this off in 30 minutes so I can prepare for her, because she sometimes is early. She's bringing 500 more books for the library. So I want to go over those books because the last time she brought books, she brought, I don't know where she's quite getting them from, but maybe she's getting them from bookstores that want to discount and get rid of their books. She only charged me about 30 pesos a book, 2 for $1. So it's about 50 cents. And they're nice books, but the problem is I ended up with 20 of the same book in different covers, but it's exactly the same book. I don't want 20 of the same book, so I'm going to present that to her and say, hey, look, I'm going to go through these books a little bit more this time because it might be, I never asked her where she's getting it from, but she's getting it from all over the Philippines, and it may be bookstores that are getting rid of books that don't sell. And though the books sell for 250, 350 pesos each, and I'm getting it for 30 pesos, I don't need 20 of the same book. It's a paperback. It's a kid's story, but who needs 20 of them, okay? I mean, they just need one. So I'm going to show her that. And I haven't even gone through all the boxes of books. This was just in one box. It was 20 of the same thing. It was ridiculous. All right. Air-conditioned buses are cool. They're a little slower, but you could take buses. If you ever want to know about taking buses and stuff like that from Manila to Dumaguete, and you go to other towns, there's lots of cities to see. Let's see. Scotty Boy does buses. He travels by bus. And Regular Guy is his YouTube channel. Nice guy. I've met him. I think he's here in Dumaguete now. He might be coming back. He liked Dumaguete. He's young and he's energetic. So is Gojo. They've 2 popular guys that built their channel up. They do a lot of outside recording. I don't do it. Everything I do is in the studio. I have interviewed a couple people. I need to get that edited, get it up. We're also doing the Pep Bros videos, which I have several on different peptides, which I need to get them up. The Pep Bros, we go over each with Dean and I. We go over individual peptides and what they're good for and how they help you and things like that. What's dosing protocol? They're 10, anywhere from 5 to 15 minute long, depending on what it is. They're shorts. For me, that's a short. There's no such thing as a minute. Okay, the one with, I have a couple recordings now of people that have been on peptides that have lost considerable weight and are very happy. I have one guy, he's going to come in and we're going to record. He said as soon as he had some problems with his leg and had to have some surgery, but he's lost 130 pounds on retatrutide that I started him with, and he attributes saving his life because he was over 350 pounds, not doing so well. He now looks great. He couldn't find clothes to fit him. I mean, he was big. He's also very tall too. He's also, I think he's over 6 foot, but nice guy from Hawaii. And he ended up buying an X-Max from me. I sold him one of my X-Maxes, big bike. And he's very happy. He's actually he's one of those guys that help the community. Have you met Jonathan from Travel Escapes? No, I have not met Jonathan. I don't have a whole lot of time to watch YouTube or videos. I don't get to watch Paul's too often, though sometimes he has something interesting I'm curious about. Or Mike's. I don't have a chance really to watch a lot. Regular Guy, sometimes I think he's more interesting. But I'll watch his. Ray's talking to Seaweed. That's in my area. Seaweed also says, happy to hear you met Scotty Boy, Regular Guy. Was it by chance? Yes, it was. It was at the mall. He was above just walking around, and I recognized him. I've actually seen Gojo too at the mall. I walk at the mall because it's very hot here, and I want to do, my 10,000 steps. And the mall has air conditioning, so I go to the mall morning or evening whenever I have a chance. I go to the mall and I do walking, and that's where I've met most of the people I meet. Is at the mall, and it was by chance, just walking the mall. Or do you set up coffee meets? Most YouTubers don't have time for all these coffee meets. I get people all the time say, hey, I'll buy you dinner, or hey, let's meet for lunch, or hey, let's get together. I just don't have time. There's thousands of people that watch these videos, and they come here and they seek out the YouTubers. I mean, I'm not that popular, but they seek out Gojo, they seek out Regular Guy, they seek out Paul, they seek out Mike. These are all more popular. They have 70,000, 100,000 subscribers. They don't have time. This you can't just meet with one person. And then if I try to meet with more than one person, then people say, well, you're just you're doing it for a fan base, or whatever. How is your 10,000? So what is the 10,000? I don't know what he's talking about. Okay. What are you talking about there, Seaweed? 10,000 steps. That's good. I do that three times a week. But I now have a weightlifting station. Joe Knight was nice enough to give me. He wasn't using his weights, and also, oh my God, I can see his face. I can't think of his name. Oh my God, it's so bad. Another YouTuber that was watching me, who buys peptides from me, gave me a set of free weights and a bench, and I put the two benches together. So now the benches tilt, but it also has for presses. I can do presses. So I took the best parts of one bench and the best parts of another bench, and I put them together to make a really good bench. And then I have weights, and I could do curls and stuff like that with dumbbells. And then I do a lot of yoga. I have a yoga mat next to it, so I do yoga on the floor. And we just ordered, me and Nick just ordered stretch bands from America, really good ones. I think they're coming today. I got them notice. So you've hit 20 islands. Oh, that's pretty good. I wish I could get away for islands. I don't have time. I just don't. Rico says, you are right. There are just some poor, weird bars. There are the same expats who go to the Brew Garden in Dumaguete every single day. You can go there at 12 p.m. or 4 p.m. It's always the same guys. Yeah. Some guys come here just to drink. They don't want to get involved. They're retired. They don't want to be friendly. They don't want to help. And that's fine as long as they don't cause any trouble. I don't mind. I understand that not everybody comes here to be active. That some people come here to retire. And that's not my thing. I like being active. That's what keeps me young. And my thing now is helping children. Okay, that's just my thing. It's not. I expect that to be yours. And as long as you're quiet and expat and you're happy, that's fine. Then we have the other expats. So unfortunately, and you get the expats that are drunk, annoying, loud. They talk down Filipinos. They demand service. They're rude. They don't belong here. They should get the hell out. They make the rest of us expats look bad. I'd be happy to meet a Filipino expat YouTuber by chance, but I didn't want to bother them. They don't want to be bothered. Just like and subscribe, make a comment. But sometimes you meet because Paul has to get out too. But he kind of wanted I kind of understand it. Like when he goes somewhere and he wants to have a meal, he doesn't want to be interrupted in his meal. So you have to respect some of the YouTubers that have a lot of followers. That there's a proper time to bother them, and then there's not a proper time. So don't bother them while they're eating. That's what I'm fine with. You can come over and just say hi, but don't carry out a long conversation. They don't want to hear your story. Because everybody has a story. Every man has a story from Mark Thornton. That's the truth. And they want to tell him, hey, this is why I came here. I came because of you. I came here because this is what I did by living. And before you know it, you're holding the whole life story. And after 20 or 30 of those, you get kind of tired of them. I'm sorry, but you do. I don't want to need your whole life story. Everybody has a story. If a YouTuber wants to do that on his channel like I do, then you make an appointment, you come in here, and we'll talk about your whole life story, record it. I do that. I kind of took up where Mark Thornton left off, but I do it not in a restaurant, because in a restaurant you have background noise, okay, interruptions, clatter of dishes. You have music that's copyrighted. I don't do recording or interviews or anything else. So if you want to tell your story, I'd love to hear your story on my time in my studio, okay? Where I can block all the exterior noise out. I can add my own music that's not copyrighted, my own background, and ask you questions without interruptions or noise or chatter. So that's the way I do it. A little different, but it's controlled. I like controlled conversations where I can think and not have my phone ringing and stuff like that. You better take more C-Max because you always forget things. Yeah, that's true. Actually, I'm very sharp since I've been taking C-Max. C-Max is a peptide, and it sharpens your mind, cognizant. And actually, I do remember a lot more than I used to be horrible at remembering names and faces. So I'm better off now. Let's see. And that was Life in the Philippines with Denny. Sounds like a YouTuber. Ray says, the alarming use of plastic bothers me. My girlfriend uses plastic for almost everything and drives me nuts. Well, it's all coming out of China. Einstein, shh. No barking. You want to go out? Well, Mommy will have to get you out. I know there's somebody here. Somebody just showed up. Let me see. Can't see who they are. All right. They're off to the right. Looks like an American. Looks like Carolyn's helping him. Okay, he's renting a bike. Scotty Boy is live now. Oh, really? Scotty and I are both live. That's awesome. Well, hello, Scotty. So anyway, he's changed a lot since he's been here. His YouTube has changed too. He's a very nice person. I'm going to probably pause and let Einstein out because he's having a fit. You guys are going to have to be patient with me because I'm going to go I have to get up and I don't have anybody opening the door. I told Carolyn to open the door in 45 minutes, let the dog out, but he's now at the door and he's scratching at it. So bear with me. Hey, no, don't bark. Bear with me, guys. I'll be right back. Let's see. Ooh, look, I have a thing that says be right back. And I'm going to cut me out. Sorry about that, guys. I am back. All right. Had to let Einstein out, ask for more coffee, and make sure that person wasn't waiting for me. No, they want to rent a bike. They just showed up. So Carolyn's got it covered. So we'll continue on for a little bit. Like I said, we have another 20 minutes or so to go. Sorry about that. Anyway, where did I grow up in the San Fernando Valley? Ever live in Mission Hills or Van Nuys? No. So I lived in... I grew up in Canoga Park. I was actually born in North Hollywood. I lived in Canoga Park, but then Canoga Park changed because they created West Hills, as I remember. Canoga Park was bigger, and they decided Canoga Park was old and not so interesting, and they created a bigger, more financially sound community of more commercial buildings, West Hills. They branched off. And then I moved to Chatsworth in the San Fernando Valley. So, and I lived during part of junior high and high school. I lived in Chatsworth in a very nice home in a very nice community. And then later, I think I moved to Agua Dulce and built a house in Agua Dulce, which is outside of Santa Clarita. On the way to Palmdale, Lancaster. So nobody else knows where all this is, but I was in the hills in Agua Dulce, in between Santa Clarita, which was a big city, and Palmdale, Lancaster was out in the desert. And then from there I went to Las Vegas. So there's your answer. Spent 10 to 15 years in Agua Dulce. I built several homes there and sold them off. I became a realtor, a broker, an owner builder, building houses. I like trying different things. So, and I did real estate investments and subdivisions and things like that. Santa Clarita diet, huh? I don't know the diet, so it's just called Santa Clarita. Santa Clarita is very big now. I haven't been back in so many years, guys. I barely can remember it because when I left San Fernando, or I left Santa Clarita area and all of Los Angeles County, that was back in 2005. We're talking 21 years ago. and I haven't been back. I had a really great place though that I sold that we did weddings. I had a wedding ranch for 10 years where we did weddings, anniversaries, things for the Boy Scouts and for other organizations, fundraisers. So I had 30 acres, and there was all Western. It was really nice. I wish I still had it, but it got to be too big and too busy. I needed caretakers to take care of the grounds. We had a couple acres of lawn. We had hundreds of trees. We had a koi pond. We had a lot of Old West antiques on it, and I ended up selling it for over $1 million. So, Seaweed Netflix series, very funny, called Santa Clarita Diet. Oh, okay, with Drew Barrymore. I do not watch. I have Netflix. I haven't watched it in months. I don't watch TV much. Okay. Oh God, my background looks too cold. I don't watch. I don't watch TV too much. We don't have a TV here, so I don't watch shows on Netflix too much. I'm not a person that can sit still and watch something unless it's really exciting and entertaining. It has to be really exciting and keep my interest. If it's talking animals, forget about it. I'm not into. I'm into reality. So pretty much what I do is I am behind on editing about 6 videos. It takes, if you videotape for an hour, it takes 2 hours to edit it. Now on the Pep Pros, we did 15 minutes, so it won't take very much, 30 minutes or so to edit each one. I just have people constantly needing me, or I have to do things in the last few weeks, and I haven't had time. And getting to the mall to walk or exercising has been a struggle. Several people said, "Why don't you just join a gym?" I don't have the time to drive to a gym, do the workout, drive back, and shower. I don't have the time. And if I do have the time, they're not going to be open because my time is going to be in the middle of the night. I've gone into and done workout at 11 o'clock at night, okay, when things calm down. I get people that wake up in the U.S. when I should be going to sleep, so I'm up till midnight, sometimes 1, 2 in the morning, answering people's questions and sending ebooks and taking orders. And then I get up at sometime between, I get up at 6 now. I go to bed anywhere from 12 to 2 in the morning. I get 4 or 5 hours sleep, and I've been surviving on that, except for Sundays, which I try to sleep until about 9. Catch up a little bit on Sundays. But between exercising, watching my weight, dropping the weight, Easy Rider will still take some time, but Carolyn handles it, like I said. Peptides, which is gone nuts. Okay, peptides is crazy now. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I already told a few people I can't take them on too much anymore. I can't take on any more clients unless they're going to, unless they come to me. I have no time to go meet with you. You're going to have to come to me, and you come on my time. So I have people that come at 8 or 9 o'clock at night when it quiets down a little bit. So I'm not running around to schools or editing stuff. Peptides is nuts. I'm pretty sure it's crazy in the U.S. too, from what I've watched. But you never know, because when you go on YouTube and you start watching something, the AI is now, oh, this is what he's watching, so we're going to show him everything that's available with peptides, everything that's available with whatever your interest is in. And so you don't really know what really is happening in the world anymore, because AI, okay, we're going to talk about AI. AI is a pain in the ass. I'll be honest with you. AI is taking over everything. So I got a message this morning, and I couldn't open it, okay? Because when I went to open it, okay, the message was sent as a message request. AI would not let me open it. It wanted me to make sure that I wanted to accept this message. Now, in the past, you just say accept or deny, okay, or delete. No, I go accept, and it's going to ask me questions. So the first thing, it wants me to verify who I am. So it shows me a picture of about 9 to 12 little clips of picture, and it wants me to identify the boxes that have a bus in it. There's 3 boxes. I hit it. I say hit. Okay, enter. Then it goes to bicycles. Then it goes to fire hydrants. Then it goes to sidewalks. Now at this point, I'm going, okay, come on. It used to be 1 or 2. Okay, that we're already on 4 or 5. Then it goes identify the cars. I'm going like, Carolyn, come help me, okay? Because this is bullshit. AI is bullshit, okay? I'm getting really annoyed. I have only so much patience, okay? I don't have time to spend 5 minutes identifying sidewalks and fire hydrants and buses, okay? Then it was the bridges. Oh, my God. So she went on there, and she says, I'll do it. And she started getting annoyed, too, because it did the same thing with her, right? And everything is, I'm telling you, AI is pretty soon going to want you to present your thumbprint, your face recognition, and a drop of blood. Everything is taking longer with AI. And then it says, do you want me to read it for you? No, I can read just fine. I went to school. Would you like me to summarize it? No, I want to hear everything, because if you summarize it, I don't know if you're missing out on some important information, okay? I can think for myself. I can only imagine what's going to happen 10 years from now when the current generation, honestly, I'm going to go on a rant, I'm sorry, when the current generation becomes a little older and everything is dependent upon AI, should I eat? What should I eat? Do I need to go to the bathroom? Because I feel like I need to go to the bathroom, but which bathroom should I use and which one should I use? Number one or number two? They're going to ask everything for AI. It's BS, okay? Guys who are creating this AI, can you just stop already? Okay? Everything wants to use AI to answer all of their life's questions. Give me a break, all right? Think for yourself. Okay, I'm sorry. I went on a rant. Don't worry, Goldfinger, AI is going to crash in the epic way. Unfortunately, many will lose their 401ks and pensions when it happens. Oh, AI is taking over. AI is thinking for you, talking for you. Oh, would you like me to answer? They'll answer for you, okay? I can answer messages and comments with AI. I kid you not. I could turn on AI now on YouTube, and it'll answer the comments. I don't want you to answer comments. You're not going to answer right. Okay, I want to use their name for one thing. You don't even use their first name. Okay, I want to get to know the people. I want to talk to them. I want to interact. I want a response. And I don't want you saying something stupid like "thank you for watching" when they say, "I don't like your channel. You're a fucking idiot." And then it says, "Thank you for watching." Oh my God, give me a break. No, too much AI. Sorry, guys. So I finally had to go on my laptop. Actually, Carolyn went on her laptop, didn't use Firefox, went to Google, had to go into another browser to get this poor guy so I could answer him. All they wanted was peptides, and they're in the U.S. Amber, it's supposed to be Amber and Hank Browder, but it's Amber and, because it's all one word. And I quick had enough time just before, I'm looking at my phone, sorry. Just enough time before going on. It says, hey, I finally got a hold of you, but I'm going live in 5 minutes. And I said, just send me your email, which they did. And I said, I go live in just a couple of minutes, so I'll have to get back with you in a few hours. And it's true, because after this, it would be nice to go to the bathroom, get a bite to eat. I don't eat breakfast, so I usually get pretty hungry around 11 or 12. And then I have the lady coming at 11 with books. And then I have another appointment at 12 coming for peptides. And I have another person who wants to come in the studio to record at between 1 and 2, 1:30. You know, and in between that, people just come because they know where I live, because I advertise bikes. So it's easy to find me. Sorry. I enjoy being busy. I enjoy meeting people and helping people, but there are times when I enjoy peace and quiet too. So it's tough. It's tough. I try to keep everybody happy, but people get upset. So a lot of people like to send me things to my messenger. Something they found was funny or laughable. It could be about Trump or Biden, or it could be political. It could be social. It could be any kind of funny things that happen. A guy's taking Melantin, okay, and he turned brown. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but I'm going to call it Melantin. It's a peptide. It's for ED. The problem is the side effect is it makes you tan. And somebody just sent me a picture of a guy that's literally turning black from taking too much Melantin, okay? Which actually you could turn blue if you take too much of, it wasn't methylene blue. I think it was actually hydrogen peroxide. Help me, guys. Which one was it? It was either hydrogen peroxide or it was methylene blue. I think it was hydrogen peroxide. No, I'm talking. It was silveroid. If you take too much silveroid, okay, or silver in solution, if you take too much of that, you turn blue. And there's a guy that actually turned blue. I mean, it's funny. I get it. It's funny, okay, at somebody else's expense. But I don't have time to watch all these or read them because some of them are videos. I just can't. So I started saying to people, hey, I don't have time. Can you take me off the list? Because they're sending it to everybody. You know, they're bulk sending it to everybody. And they're funny and everything else. But when you have 25 people doing that on a daily basis, you end up blocking them. Okay, it's a shame, and I don't want to block them because I know they mean well, but they don't realize I had 25 people sending me interesting, funny stuff that they saw on YouTube or TikTok or Twitter or whatever, stories that they sent to me because they want to share it. I appreciate they want to share it, but the thing is, when you get 25 of them a day, okay, and you have to, it starts taking up valuable time. Just to respond, because all I know is they sent me a email or they sent me a message on Messenger, okay, or messages and for a link, and I don't know what it is until I open it. It might be something I really want to see, but in most of the cases, for the 25 people, they're sending one after another every day, sometimes 2 or 3 a day. And that's their whole life, is sharing. Caring is sharing, and I end up having to block them, okay? Because AI ain't taking care of that shit. All right. I like breaking AI. Let me go back. Beans for breakfast. Oh, then you're gonna fart a lot. It looks like you have 2 different color eyes. Do you? No, I don't. Really? I have 2 different color eyes. Let me look at the camera. No, blue. I have blue eyes. I like breaking AI. I don't know, how do you break AI? I'd like to know. Yeah, he took I used to call it melatonin, but it's actually melatonin. It's one word. It's one syllable. It's not 3. I don't even know how to say it. I actually have it. I carry it because Dean likes trying new things, and Dean's been taking it. And he came the other day, and everybody said, "You look kind of dark." And then this guy sent me a picture of this guy that is damn near. Ooh, we got lightning and thunder. Damn near black, okay? He's a white man that's looking awfully dark, including his lips, features that just shouldn't be going. And he's hopefully, I don't think it's reversible either. So you got to watch some of these things. So watch the Silveroid, which is really good for you. Silver solution. Help you with the word on that one too. So much for CMAX. Or watch some of the peptides that do things for you that are irreversible. Listen to Beans for Breakfast by Johnny Cash. I'm trying to eat beans at least 3 times a day. Some do 6 times a day. Damn, dude, I don't want to sit around you or visit you. It's buffet breakfast time in BGC for us listening. Okay, buffet breakfast. Okay, Delta. Dude, if you eat a lot of beans, you're going to fart a lot. I mean, come on. Favorite Filipino foods. Love tortang talong. Don't know what that is. Which is roasted eggplant. Oh, I like roasted eggplant. Made into an eggplant omelet, which Carolyn makes for me. I didn't know the name. There was a name for it. And you're eating eggs. She makes that. She dips the eggs. The only difference is I have her put cheese inside, white cheese. So she'll take eggplant and clean out the inside, cut it open, put some cheese in it, and dip it in egg yolk and sometimes flour, but I told her I don't want the bread. So she's been dipping it in egg. Otherwise, they would use, instead of flour, they would use something else, but also has carbs, so I don't use it. And cornmeal. They dip it in cornmeal and then in egg whites or egg yolks or whatever. But I don't want the cornmeal because it's carbs. So, and then she that's my favorite. So it's called tortang talong. Tortang. I have to ask her. I want tortang talong. I know gas prices are high, but don't need that type of gas. Yeah, right? Yeah, unless you could bottle it, capture it, and fire it in your vehicle and put a tube up your ass. They brought me more coffee, iced coffee. They're trying to calm me down. I haven't had breakfast. I get grouchy when I haven't eaten. So it's just like those candy bar commercials. So yeah, I notice I get a little grouchy if I haven't eaten. So, and I only eat one meal between 11 and 1 meal a day, and then the nighttime I'll have an apple with cheese, I only eat white cheese because yellow cheese, I don't know, something about yellow cheese. I think it has more carbs, but whatever. The cheese they put on pizza, again, brain fart. So anyway, I don't want the cornstarch either. I don't like the cornstarch noodles that they cook for palva. I don't like the cornstarch. I don't like the noodles, to be honest. I don't eat noodles, so I don't eat spaghetti. I don't eat the crust on pizza. I like the toppings, but I won't eat the crust. I don't eat bread and butter. I don't have sandwiches. If they're tacos, I might do tacos if they're crispy tacos, but I don't do flour tacos, soft tacos. I'm very. It's just you probably don't have to when you're on Redditry worry specifically about the. Yeah, thank you so much for CMAX. Mozzarella. So mozzarella is for the lowest one in carbs, and it's good. You can eat that. So I like mozzarella with apple at night. I don't eat a lot of certain fruits that are high in sugar, like grapes, watermelon. If they're sweet, probably not. If they're real sweet, that's the sugar. So you know when you're eating something sweet, it's got full of a fructose. That's where they got fructose from. Sweet potatoes. I don't eat potatoes too much. I certainly don't eat fries because they're fried in bad oil here. Mung bean soup. Okay. I like that. Squash added. Yeah, squash has got carbs. Or sweet potatoes got carbs. Or other vegetables. I like vegetables. Bok choy and onion, that's fine. And garlic's fine. I like vegetables. I stay away from sweet potatoes and any kind of root vegetables have carbs. So I'm kind of a low carb person, which I've been doing for years, way before Redditry, way before I lost my weight. Yam tempura burritos. Where is that available? Seaweed. Where do you get yam tempura? I wouldn't eat them, but I don't eat burritos. Low sugar berry. Well, anything with a berry. So strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, anything with a berry. Yes, raspberries, blueberries. Yes, they're available here. Not very often, but you will see them in the stores from time to time. They don't last very long here due to the weather. You can refrigerate them, but they don't last too well in the refrigerator either. Very humid here. Berries don't do well, so you'll only see berries once in a while. Strawberries here are sweet. Strawberries in the U.S. were never sweet. We definitely have a storm coming in because we got a lot of thunder and it just got dark outside. So much for the books at 11 o'clock. I can't drink tea in a restaurant here because too much sugar. Well, can you tell? Oh, the iced tea, yeah. Yeah, you can't. I can't drink any of the drinks here. If they do make it, I carry with me stevia. So if they can make a drink and not add sugar to it, that's fine. If they add honey to it, I'm okay with honey. I got messages coming in left and right. And so a little bit of honey is fine. It's a carb. It's a high carb, but it's a low glucose level carb, and it's healthy. Honey is good for you versus sugar. I don't do monk fruit. I just do stevia. I got used to stevia. So my coffee's sweetened with stevia, and I got used to it. At first it seemed bitter, but now I got used to it. All right, it's after 10:30. I got to go pretty soon. But yeah, I'm with you. I can't drink tea, and they have iced tea, but they load their drink. Lemonade loaded with sugar, iced tea, fruit drinks, orange drinks. They love orange juice here, which is just all sugar with orange food coloring. I don't even know if they just wave the orange over it, and say, "Hi, you got orange." Or they throw an orange peel on the side and makes it an orange drink because I think they sell Tang here. Oh, is it raining? Oh, not good. It's pouring. Okay, that was a sudden storm. I know why diabetes is skyrocketing. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Goldfinger. You're welcome. It's pouring here. Shoot, the lady's supposed to come at 11 with books. Oh, it's 10:34. She may cancel. Let me go. Oh, I got a message. Yeah. We may not be able to come due to the heavy rain. Unless it clears up soon. I will update you soon as weather gets better. I'm worried the books might get wet. Thank you for understanding. Tomorrow is fine. So let me just answer her. Tomorrow is fine or later today. Sorry, guys, I got to answer this because this is my next appointment, and I totally get it. She wouldn't want to come with books in the rain. It is pouring out there. Oh, we have packages coming. Great. So they're going to get wet. All right. Well, it's the lightning came first and then the thunder. And it is absolutely pouring outside right now. It is coming down. So that's the way the weather's in here, It's just been that way every day now because of the monsoon season, which usually ended by now, and because of the storms out at sea that are coming in. We're getting the rain. It is what it is. All right. Anybody have any questions? Because I'm going to sign off anyway. Because I'm probably going to have my what was it called? I'm going to go back. My omelet, which is tortang talong. I'm going to ask Carolyn for tortang talong. That's one of my favorites. She has eggplant too. She buys eggplant for me. Did you stop taking your meds for diabetes when you started taking retatrutide? No, not when I started. I measured it. After 2 months, I started lowering it. So I took glipizide. I didn't like metformin. Metformin gave me stomach aches unless I took it with food. So I was on a glipizide, and I was on two, one in the morning and one at night. So I stopped taking one after about 2 months, and by the third or fourth month, I stopped taking both. And now my last test, which was 2 months ago, my A1C was 5.2, down from 7.8 or 9. And I don't take blood pressure medicine anymore. That dropped. Tortang talong. There it is. Thank you. I don't take blood pressure. I was on a CPAP machine. I had sleep apnea, and I no longer use that for the last 3 months. So that took a little longer. It had to do with losing weight. For me, losing the weight stopped the sleep apnea. It's not a medicine, but it was obviously I had fatty tissue in my throat, which was causing me to snore and stopping me from breathing through the night. I had a really bad sleep apnea too, because I was up there towards 350 pounds, 5'6", way too heavy. I was not doing good. Okay, I'm now at 193, 193. I weigh myself tomorrow. Yeah, 5'2" is awesome, right? Yours went from 7.9 to 6.4. How'd you get so low? Retatrutide. There's no losing the weight, exercising, and being on a peptide. Retatrutide is the number one peptide. Now there are other peptides that work really good right away, but retatrutide side effect is losing weight. That's really not what it's for. The original Ozempic was created to not lose weight. It was a side effect. Ozempic was created to lower your blood pressure and your blood sugar. And that's what it was designed for in a lab. I believe it was designed, it might have been in Russia, but I believe it was China. Then they went from, which is Ozempic is semaglutide. Then they went to tirzepatide, Wegovy. They had different names for it, Wegovy, whatever. Tirzepatide added the second agonist to it. So you had GLP-1, then GIP, and then they added GLP-1. Again, to work towards lowering blood pressure, blood sugar. And then the third generation was retatrutide with the third agonist. And that one is GIP, GLP-1, and glucagon. The glucagon, they specifically went after visceral fat because it was being sold and popular based on the fact that you would lose weight, which was more popular to people than 3 months waiting for to lower the blood pressure and the blood sugar. So people we like instant gratification. So we all do. We're human. We want instant gratification. So to keep up with instant gratification, they made it into I'm going to say a diet supplement. Okay, it's not a drug because it's a natural product, just like vitamin A, vitamin B, C. So it's technically a supplement, which is what the FDA is fighting because they don't want you to get better. They don't want it to be considered a supplement because if it's considered a supplement, it doesn't need FDA approval. You'll never see FDA approval on a supplement, okay? So if you take vitamin C, B1, B12, B6, if you take anything, CoQ10, anything that's considered a supplement, it does not need FDA approval. They can't control it. They can't control who makes it. They can't get fees for it. They can't make money on it, okay? So big pharma, they can't patent it, okay? They can't have controls over it. So, and technically, peptides are a supplement. They're amino acids which you have in your body,
and they're being created outside of your body. They're not taking it from a human to give it to you any more than insulin. Now, insulin actually is a peptide. And over the years, they forced insulin. Insulin originally came from bulls, okay? Now it's being synthesized in a lab and produced by pharmaceutical companies, and they made it an FDA approved, requiring a pharmaceutical doctor's prescription. But it's technically a supplement, okay? It's something that you're lacking in your body, okay? That you're lacking the insulin that fights off the high sugar, which comes with age, usually. But technically, it should have never been an FDA product or required a doctor's prescription. It should have been over the counter. So in order, they sold it. They sold the reason to have that is because they felt people would misuse it, and that way a doctor can watch how much you're using and prescribe the right amount. They're doing the same thing with peptides. They're trying to get Eli Lilly, the company that's promoting it in the USA. Eli Lilly is trying to make it only they can produce it, bring it in, and sell it, okay? Which technically is illegal in the U.S., okay? You want competition, that way you get price. RFJ is trying to get peptides approved, and he is, to be sold over the counter because it's a supplement. So you should be able to go to a store, a vitamin store, and buy, peptides for different things. But the FDA is coming in and saying, hey, but wait, people are taking too much of it. They might get ill, they might die, they might overdose. Problem is, nobody's overdosed on retatrutide. Yeah, you could take too much and you'll get a side effect. You take too much of anything, you're going to get a side effect. I don't care if you take too much vitamin C, you're going to get a side effect. Okay? The reasoning is improper. Their real reasoning is they want control. That's what they want, control. They want to make money on it. They don't want you to have access to it. And the other reason is because it helps you. So by losing weight, I got rid of blood pressure medicine. No longer need medicine. I no longer need blood sugar medicine. I no longer need medical equipment, which is a CPAP machine. And am I healthier? Obviously, because if you lose weight and you need blood sugar, your A1C is 5.2, and my glucose level is 85 now. 85. I was 140 in the morning with glipizide, with medicine. Okay? Which I went from one medicine, metformin, to a stronger medicine, to a stronger dose of medicine, to twice a day. So, and now I take no medicine. I don't take medicine. Now I will take antibiotics, but if I need to, okay, because I did have an infected tooth, and I went to the dentist and they said, hey, we don't need to operate your tooth anyway, just take some antibiotics. So I did, and it's gone away. I have a really great dentist, by the way. If you ever get to Philippines or you ever get to Dubai, I have a dentist that charges you Philippine prices and don't charge you the white tax. Okay, I mean, this dentist is awesome. He did a tooth removal for me for 1,200 pesos. They do teeth cleaning for 500, 700 pesos. And I went to this doctor and said, I have a tooth problem. I think it's infected, it's impacted. I don't know if I need root canal or pull the tooth, whatever. And he looked at me and he says, you have an infection from flossing too hard. And I says, how did you know I floss? He says, well, I could tell you floss, okay? He says, and you floss too hard and you cut it and it got infected. He says, you need to go on antibiotics for 7 days. And I can get that over the counter here. You don't need a doctor's prescription for that here. And there's a lot of things you don't need a doctor's prescription for in Mexico and here that you would require in the USA. Again, FDA, bullshit, and big pharma, bullshit. And you get screwed. I'm telling you get screwed. The food you eat in the USA is not as healthy because it's radiated, it's sprayed with wax, or it's got additives in it that are not healthy for you. They would never sell it to you in Europe, okay? They'll say mac and cheese in the US and they sell mac and cheese in Europe, and they're not made with the same ingredients, okay? They don't use food coloring yellow, food coloring red, or things like that, or other preservatives. Don't get me started, okay? Don't get me started, because they'll ban me on YouTube. but you are so screwed in the U.S. You don't realize it until you leave the U.S. and you go to Europe, or if you came into the U.S., you're going to get poor health. People that leave here and go to the U.S. and they go for 2 or 3 months, they come back, they gain 20 pounds. Okay? It's just a fact. They gain 20 pounds. And they're in poor health. smog, higher smog. You are what you eat. Okay, you are what you drink. Soda pop, Coca-Cola is the worst damn thing you can have in your life. Coca-Cola will kill you. It'll rot your teeth and it'll kill you. It's high acid. It promotes cancer. I'm going to say it right now. If you're drinking Coca-Cola and you love Coca-Cola, and I don't care if it's diet or regular, okay? If it's regular, you're going to have more problems because it's sugar, and sugar feeds cancer cells. There's two ways to kill cancer. Get rid of the sugar, which means get rid of Coca-Cola and soda pops that have sugar. Sugar is the number one carb. Get rid of the breads that you're eating, okay? Not good for you. Or sweetbreads that they have here, not good for you. The food here is not great, but you can find roasted chicken and salads here. You can get it. You just have to work a little harder at it because they use canola oil here. Vegetable oil will kill you, okay? But in any case, going back to the U.S., you are what you eat, and you get cancer. And the way they cure cancer in the U.S. is so backwards and stupid. It's unbelievable that you have to do chemo to fight off cancer. No, you could have gotten healthy without chemo and fought off cancer naturally and been fine in 3 months without losing your hair and throwing up in a toilet every day. You know, and guess what? If you don't change your eating habits, and you get 17% of people will survive chemo. 13%. 13% survive chemo. That means 87% don't survive. Get that. And out of the 13%, 99.7% of those, 99.7% of the 13% that survive the first one won't survive it again when they get it in 5 years because they haven't changed their eating habits. Okay? They haven't changed the food they're eating. And in some cases, they can't because everything you eat at a restaurant is bad for you. Just about everything you eat at a restaurant. They have preservatives. They're not giving you meat because that's healthy because it's not natural. It wasn't natural from the cows that they give shots to or the pigs or anything else. You're not getting good food in the USA. And living in the USA kills you. I'll just be honest. The USA kills you because you can't survive. It's very hard to get fruits or vegetables that haven't been radiated, sprayed with something, insecticides in the field. Monsanto has created, the GMOs. You can't get rid of there's a lot of things that you're screwed from the beginning. From when they grow it, raise it, slaughter it, prepare it, make it, and sell it to you, you're screwed. Okay, unless you do it all yourself. Okay, I'm sorry, that's a rant. Let's go back. Don't floss. She wrote a book, Dr. Ely. Did I go all the way back? What is your ideal weight goal? Oh, I want to get down. Let me go back. I missed a lot. Sorry, I started a rant. Be safe. Take care. Thanks, Ray. Got 5.2. Damn, that's good. Yeah. Oh, jeez, I was in the 7.9. What is your ideal weight goal? I want to get down to, I'm 193 last week. I'll check again tomorrow in the morning. I'm probably close to 190 pounds. And I'd like to be at 180 to 185. I still have a tire. I'm going after the visceral fat right now because I'm working out with the gym, and I noticed my weight loss stopped, but my inches started shrinking. So now what I'm doing, not so much on the scale, I'm measuring my waist. My waist dropped 2 inches in the last 2 weeks. My weight did not change. My weight's been 193 for 2 to 3 weeks now, but my inches have dropped 2 inches in the waist. So because I'm doing sit-ups and stomach crunches and lifting weights and stretching and aerobics and other things, yoga, I do yoga, and I specifically work on the core. I'm trying to get this spare tire away. I take tesamorelin. Tesamorelin goes after visceral fat, same as glucagon, but it works on a different receptor to do it. There's other ipamorelin. There's different types of peptides that will go after visceral, and they use different paths to do it naturally. So anyway, let's see, what is so the ideal weight? I'm sorry, my ideal weight is 180 to 185. That's what I'm trying to get to. But it's not so much the weight now. Now it's the proportions. So now I'm not so fixated on weight, the scale. I'm fixated on measurements. I have a extra large jacket that I wanted to wear. I was 6X when I started. I'm now down to American X extra large. Okay, and actually I have a large that I can fit, but it's a little firm. So I'm an extra large, and this shirt is loose on me. All my clothes are kind of loose, so I keep dropping my clothes and getting rid. I have a pile of clothes to give away if anybody wants clothes. Underwear doesn't fit; they fall off of me. I had to buy new underwear. And Carolyn bought extra large from America. She actually bought 2X from America. It was American 2X on Temu. And I said, honey, that's not going to fit. And she orders, they're not returnable. She bought 6 pair. And when they came, we started laughing because I could put 2 fists. Okay? 2X don't fit anymore. It's way too big. So anyway, it costs a lot more. It costs a lot more in my area. Where's your area, Ray? Tell me again. I think you were up in Manila. Manila's more expensive. Cebu's more expensive. Dr. Ely Phillips says, don't floss. I started to read that. A book called Kiss Your Dentist Goodbye. It has a specific 5-minute protocol twice a day. Oh, I just moved it. Shit. Oh, here it is. And a specific 5-minute protocol twice a day. Yeah, I floss and I caused the problem, so it's going away. I'm on my 4th day on antibiotics. Oh, and the dentist I have, Doctor, it's Revere Dental. I'm not going to remember her name. The guy that works with me is Dr. June, Jun, the dentist, Revere in Darrow, Dumaguete. Oh my God! Tell him Goldfinger sent you. They love me. He didn't charge me. He never charged me because I sent so many people there. There are many overdoses on Reddit and people. No, there's not. There's overdoses. Excuse me. There are overdoses because they took too much and they didn't follow proper protocol. And the food in Philippines is no better in the Philippines. Beach Buko. Okay, you're full of shit. Okay, you're full of shit, Beach Buko. No, the food in America sucks, and you can get better food. Better food, actually the best food is in Thailand, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, in America, every American that goes back and spends 2 to 3 months in America comes back fat and unhealthy. And I was one of them, okay? I use virgin olive oil. Yeah, you can get virgin olive oil here. You could cook with oil. It's best if you cook for yourself here because you can get fresh vegetables. Vegetables here aren't radiated. They don't have fertilizers in the fields. You can get fresh food that's literally from farm to market here. It hasn't gone through a whole lot of processing. So, sorry, Beach. You're full of it. Okay? Original Listerine or Cool Mint Listerine, both with alcohol. No other Listerine allowed. 1 toothpaste. Crest Cavity Protection with ACT Final Rinse. Begin with... See, now, some of these people realize, Goldfinger Garden, growing your own greens. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any... All my property is pretty much covered in concrete to handle bikes, so I have a lot of bikes out there and e-carts. Got papaya trees in your yard? I actually do have one, but they're green papayas, and I don't like green papayas. They're kind of sour. Coconut trees, mango, I don't have those. Avocado trees, durian fruit, which smells, my understanding. I don't have durian fruit. I can't take the smell. If something smells bad, like I can't handle. You take it. I can't eat raw garlic and. Oh God, you put on vinegar. Oh my God, I cannot stand anything with vinegar. They use a lot of vinegar here, and when they cook, or they'll dip things in vinegar. I cannot stand the smell or taste of vinegar. I can't do it. People talk. I've tried several times doing vinegar, in the morning, which is good for you. I agree, but I just can't do it. It doesn't go past my nose and into my lips. It's gross. I can't do vinegar. And durian is another one of those I can't handle. So anyway, but there are things that you could do. You could eat well here if you do your own shopping and cook at home. But if you go out, they're going to add sugar to just about everything. Spaghetti has sugar. Pizza has chili. You go to Mexican food, they have a quesadilla. It's sugar. I don't know how they do it, but they put a sauce in there. It's full of sugar. Who wants sweet quesadillas or sweet burritos? But everything here is sugar. That's a big problem. So I don't eat any breads here. Pizza, spaghetti. Italian food is pretty tough to eat here unless you have a salad with fresh seafood on it, a seafood salad which is fine. I used to eat that at Why Not when they were around, but they're gone now. Living in the land of vinegar, yeah. Thailand has great food. Thailand has much better food. They have great seafood, healthy, fresh food. I wish they had that's what I miss about Thailand the most is they don't speak English per se. I mean, they'll speak English here. They don't speak much English in Thailand. And they don't seem to be willing to learn English in Thailand, so they don't teach it in schools. So I don't think that's going to change any. Thailand is very difficult to stay with long-term visas. Another problem with Thailand, you have to leave several times a year, and you can't stay continuously year after year. All right, well, we're going into 11, but the lady's not coming with the book, so it doesn't matter. I miss Thailand's food. Now, and their infrastructure. Their infrastructure is better. Do you buy eggs from the neighbors? I buy it locally. I don't have chickens. I don't like the smell of chicken shit. I don't buy them from the store. They sell eggs here locally from the people that raise chickens here. Actually, I have a neighbor that raises chickens for eggs, and they sell it on the street. So I buy, and they don't wash them here. They don't wash them, refrigerate them here because there's this natural substance from the chicken that keeps eggs fresh. I bought eggs in Mexico that had black on the inside, which was obviously it had turned and had spoiled. You could get very sick from that. But natural chicken eggs, they sell right away. They don't keep them for weeks or months, or they don't refrigerate them. They don't need to because they have a natural coating from the chicken that preserves them. So I buy it from vendors here because they're not cooking it, so I don't have to worry about it. They're just selling eggs, and they're always fresh. So that's I'm not a real big egg eater because I don't eat breakfasts. But I will have eggs at dinner time with eggplant or mixed in with. I don't eat rice too much. I actually had rice last night, but I don't typically eat rice. But rice is life here. Everybody eats rice here because it's cheap. Just like they eat potatoes, mashed potatoes, French fries in the U.S. Everything comes with French fries. But here, everything comes with rice, and I don't eat it. I always tell them, can you switch the rice? Don't bring it to me, or switch it for vegetables, any kind of vegetables. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Sorry I went on those rants, but God, if you want to get healthy, get out of America and get away from FDA and Big Pharma. If you want to get healthy, you want to live longer, get the hell out of Dodge. I'm telling you. Yeah, quail eggs. I've had quail eggs. They're actually, it's like the quail eggs better. They're even better. Thailand has great food, and you'll live longer. It has more noise and pollution because in Bangkok or big cities, but the food is wonderful and fresher, and you'll live longer. In the Philippines, I believe people have lost weight on a regular basis just from walking. You walk more here. So you typically do lose weight when you're here. You gain it when you go back to the U.S., and people come back and they go, I've gained 20 pounds. It's very often. Smoked oysters, fresh oysters. Actually, very cheap. So seafood here is extremely, extremely cheap. You'd be shocked. You can get shrimp here that would not fit in the palm of your hand. Okay, huge shrimp for $17 per 1,000 grams, which is 2.2 pounds. Okay, you can buy 2.2 pounds for $17 of shrimp that won't fit you. Huge. You could buy clams here for even less per kilo. Thank you. Well, take care, Ray. And I'll be back next Friday. I got to get some videos out. So this weekend, I plan on getting out some videos of testimonials from people and also the Pep Bros. And then you would be shocked at what they have a particular fish here that I like, milkfish, and also another one that I really like. It's not fishy, and it's very fishy. You can get tuna here, real tuna, a boneless tuna fillets, or buy the whole tuna and fillet it yourself. Cheap. I don't know why it's so expensive in China or Japan. Or you can buy whole tuna fish here. It's cheap, and it's wonderful meat, and it's fresh right out of the ocean. Shellfish especially. There's certain fish you can get here. You can get octopus. You can get crab. Crab's very cheap crab here. All that stuff's cheap. Okay, lobster, everything. I mean, it's all very, very, very cheap here. Anything out of the ocean's cheap. And then not so much in a restaurant, but you got to buy it yourself and cook it yourself because it's at the market. And they bring in fresh fish every day in the market. So you want to go to the market where it's busy because it's always fresh. Oh, there goes the thunder again. And then if you cook it yourself, it's going to be better prepared, to be honest with you. I prefer olive oil, but Carolyn uses a lot of canola oil, which is not good for you, and it's vegetable oil, And but that's the way it is. And then you can get fresh milk here, but you have to go to the dairy. There's a couple dairy farms here in Dumaguete where you can get fresh milk. It won't keep very long. They don't homogenize, but there is one of the dairies that will homogenize it for you. It's cheap. Food here is very cheap. Food's ridiculously cheap here. Living here is cheap. It's a fourth of the cost, anywhere from a third to a fourth of the cost of USA. About the only thing I would say would be expensive is if you use a lot of air conditioner, electricity gets expensive here. Not so much in Valencia as it is in Dumaguete. Valencia has its own generation of power from heat transfer due to the high temperature in the ground from volcanic production of heat. They drill shafts in the ground and they use the heat to produce electricity. So it's a lot cheaper in Valencia, I think. Let's see, what else? It's not safe to ride a car or motorcycle here. They don't have any rules. They don't know how to drive. Yeah, you can get fresh raw milk here, but it won't keep for about a couple days. But it's sweet. It's really sweet. It's good. I don't drink regular milk, because it's high in carbs and fat, typically more so than, say, almond milk or high fat milk. Like a cream, a heavy cream is lower in carbs, and I prefer the fat. The fat's okay, but not the carbs. But you can get fresh milk here, but you have to go to the dairy and get it. They keep it in the refrigerator, and it's only good for 2 or 3 days. That's all it's going to last. All right, messages are coming in left or right. Oh, my God. And emails and everything else. So, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. Local Dumaguete Dairy, cow milk. Yeah, you can get yogurt and butter here, real butter. It's expensive in Manila, really. Oh. No, it's pretty cheap here. It's very cheap in Duma. I'm sure it's cheaper elsewhere too, because people have said that Duma is kind of expensive when they come from other province areas. You won't have as much variety, but housing here has gone up quite a bit. We'd have to talk about real estate, which is a whole nother subject. The problem is there's 2 problems here. So you're talking about safety of vehicles. There's no safety here in vehicles. They regularly drive on the wrong side of the road. They drive a car like a motorbike, passing on oncoming traffic. They don't take driving lessons here to get a license or written test. You can get a license. Actually, you can drive a car without a license. Most of them drive a car without a license or registration. You can buy a car without registration or a license, or a motorbike. They drive motorbikes too fast. So if you're going to come here, you want to get a smaller bike and go slower. Speed kills, for sure here. Passing kills. If there's 2 things not to do here, which I've learned the hard way, is slow down, okay? Even though a motorcycle is fun to ride fast, slow down and don't pass, because passing is when you get in trouble, because they make U-turns for no reason. They don't use blinkers. They don't use hand signals. They don't have street lights. They take out the light bulbs out of their vehicles to save electricity on a car. I know, it makes no sense. Excuse me. And so the safest vehicle is no vehicle here. I don't even know if it's safe to walk, because the sidewalks are full of vehicles that park on sidewalks in the city. And so you literally have to walk in the street. You can't walk on a sidewalk here. They allow motorcycles to park on sidewalks, and they do quite a bit. You're welcome, Seaweed. Electricity is high here too. Going to be one of your major expenses is electricity. If you use it like I do, I use a lot of electricity. I don't save. I like my creature comforts, and air conditioning is one of them. I got to have air conditioners. I have half a dozen air conditioners in my house. They don't all run at the same time, but I like it cool. And I use the dryer part because it's very humid here, so it pulls out the water out of the air. They cut in front of you. Motorcycles are horrible. Cars, people go from a motorcycle to a car. You can buy if you're a Filipino, you can buy a car with damn near nothing down, and you don't even need a driver's license, and you don't need to drive it. And people have asked me to drive the car off the lot for them. This honestly has happened. People have come to me, do you know how to drive a car? Yeah, I know how to drive a car. I used to drive a semi, so across country. So yeah, so they'd ask me to pick up their van or pick up their car and take it to their house because they bought it, but they don't know how to drive it. And I asked one guy once, and I went in his van. He took me to the dealership to drive the vehicle for his friend. And I asked the guy, so you know how to drive, huh? And he goes, oh, yeah. And I said, so how did you learn? Oh, I watched YouTube. So that's when I buckled up. Wish I had my helmet, too. It's the Wild West. Yes, it is. Becoming Filipino. Yeah, that's the next story. Becoming Filipino. Has had his good friends hit by a car. Oh, I'm sorry. Just standing on the side of the road. I know. Boating is his name, huh? From CDO. We call it CDO. Who could say Cayenne de Oro, Mindanao, CDO. Yeah, I'm sorry. You got to be careful. The major thing here is watch for the other guy. It's always going to be the other guy. That's how you're going to get in an accident here. It's going to be the other guy who doesn't know how to drive, cuts out in front of you, doesn't. I can't tell you. Every time I take a motorbike, I say a prayer because people cut me off. They go right through intersections, don't even stop, don't look. They don't know how to use rear view mirrors. They're not taught on how to use they don't know what a rear view mirror is for. I think they think it's for makeup. He survived. Oh, that's good. Scars on his head and broken leg. And the problem is when someone hits you and they're Filipino, they don't really necessarily pay you any damages. There's no lawsuits here for that. You're the foreigner. You're the one that's going to have to suffer. In fact, if you get in an accident and a person hits you and it's totally their fault, which they'll never admit to, you're going to end up paying them, even though it's their fault. You're going to end up paying them because you're the foreigner. You're going to be the one that gets in trouble if you make a big noise about it. It was on crutches and Becoming Filipino YouTube video. I'll have to check that out. Becoming Filipino. That's a good name, actually. A few weeks ago. I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Seaweed. Yeah, you really got to watch out for the other guy. You really have to watch your P's and Q's here. They get offended. If sticks and stones will break your bones here. People will come after you. If you say something or do something wrong to a Filipino, they will come after you here. So crosswalks are a waste of paint. Yeah, that's for sure. They don't know what a crosswalk is. They're not taught what a crosswalk is. They don't understand what a crosswalk is. They cross in the middle of the street. There's no such thing as jaywalking here. It's expected. So when people cross, typically Filipinos will cross in traffic, and they'll stand in the middle with traffic passing on both sides of them. And I've seen people get hit. Fortunately, just recently saw someone got hit who ran across the street, and the motorcycle was racing on the right-hand side, literally not in a lane, okay? The area between the lane and the sidewalk, okay? Kind of like a parking area, but they don't park on the street. Racing, and the car blocked the view of the person running across. And sure enough, timing be it, the car slowed down, the motorcycle did, and wham! I watched it happen. I slowed down too. I saw him because I was in the left lane. The pedicab wasn't actually a car, it was a pedicab, was in the right lane next to me. We both slowed down. The motorcycle, which was basically in a parking lane, not a passing lane, not a lane he should be driving in, going way too fast, and zoomed it past us, hit him, and that guy flew in the air. And when I looked at my back, I braked and pulled over to the side to see if I could help him or anything. When I saw the puddle of blood, I said, no, I'm not sticking around. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. And I'm sure the guy died. I'm sure he did. I heard later that Carolyn said it was on the news that the guy had died. Yeah, he had a head injury. It's a shame. But you're right. Crosswalks are a waste of paint. How to drive books for school, paid for by Goldfinger. They won't read them. So I used to buy helmets for kids. As some of the people that have been around a long time knows me. In the first couple of years, I bought thousands of children's helmets imported from China. They were very small size, but they weren't bike helmets. They were real helmets. protect the child if you wear it, because they allow children on motorcycles here not only to drive them, but also as passengers, and babies are allowed on motorcycles. They hold the babies up in the air. The reason being is if they're going down, it's that person's, usually an adult's job, to lay the baby back, okay, while the bike's going down, so the baby doesn't get hurt by the people or the bike itself. That's what you deal with here. That mentality, that's what you deal with it. And they're not changing anytime soon. I did not have baby helmets because I didn't want to promote that, to be honest with you. I did have child helmets to help child. And I put out thousands of helmets. And we had donated by the expats of Dumageddon on the back of it. And I decorate them and everything else. And I'd have them sign for it. And the problem was they wouldn't wear them. It's just not in their culture to wear helmets. They don't wear them. Most drivers do not wear shoes, and they don't wear helmets. They'll have one, usually sitting with a strap hanging off the handlebars, or they'll have it in the seat and they're sitting on it underneath the seat, but they won't wear them. I've seen them with flip-flops or no shoes at all. They ride motorbikes. And it's not my job to change the laws. I'm not trying to change their culture, but that's the way it is. And out of the thousands of helmets that I put out there, I have not seen one with the tag on the back that says donated by the expats of Doom. Not one helmet. And when I went back to the schools to check to see what kids are being brought to school with helmets on, gave out one school, Batingwell, 1,500 helmets to the children, and fitted them and made sure that the strap was correct, got the right size for them. They're child-size helmets. They're not going to be fit on an adult. I went back the next day to see how many kids actually show up. Because somebody said, "Do you really sure how many kids are actually wearing them?" And I go, I really don't. So I went back the next day, and the next day after that, the next day after that. The first day, about 15 kids would show up with helmets out of 1,500. Now, they're not all coming to school on the back of a bike, but I would say out of the amount of people that are being dropped off on motorbikes, I would say it would be 10% of the ones that are riding a bike. On the third day, 2 or 3 helmets. It's not in their culture. I'm wasting my money and time. So I went to educating kids instead of trying to protect them. You can't lead a horse to water if you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. So that was what I just gave up. What is a crosswalk book for school? Well, we actually have manners for school, and it's in there. But Carolyn's making manners for children. You give it to them in the first grade. Manners and some of the things in there is safety. And so I said to her, you need to put in there things. I told her crosswalks, they don't know what they are. If you teach them in the elementary, they're going to understand, So basically, we are teaching kids about safety and security, about the pros and cons of riding on the back of a motorcycle without a helmet or shoes. So it's in the manners book that she gives to first graders. I'll have to bring that book in here. She's already printed several copies of it. I'll show you the pages on it or take some pictures of it. All right, guys, it's after 11. It's time for me to go. I need to use the CR, as they call it here, comfort room. All of you, take care. Appreciate it. I yacked enough, too much. So I'm going to sign out, and you're going to lose me now. Bye, everybody.